All right.
Do.
Yeah.
What are you
Don't
starting
panic.
with?
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm kind of winging it tonight because I was going to start with cat shit guy, but
Shit, yeah.
his power's gone. So we were going to have a fourth guest tonight, and it was going to be Mr. Chris Rochford. Lives in Ontario.
Rochford? I was thinking it was Rockford.
Rockford. Yeah, probably is Rockford.
Sorry,
But-
Chris, we're newfies.
Like the rock voisine.
Yeah.
We can't pronounce anything right.
That's accurate.
I'm
We
sorry,
see everything
but
right.
we can't.
So
I don't.
while Chris passes along his apologies for not being able to make it, it's out of his control. So we'll get him on another time. Not a big deal at all. So
It's a power
there's
outage.
your intro. Welcome to episode, I'm going to say 9. Sounds right.
That'd be
Episode
Episode
excellent.
9 of the Deek Snipe Silly Podcast. Your hosts, Kylie Murrin, Chad Newman, and myself, Ryan Gates. So we're hot off of a victory. And
Finally.
it's probably a victory that nobody will talk about. I mean, what
Yeah,
really could there be to
shutout.
talk about?
I
Good
know.
Lord. I was sitting there.
I'm
like,
not even opening Twitter tonight.
I didn't want to tempt the hockey gods to do me in Boston style, but I was thinking to myself, maybe I should wish that they score 1. So at least fans, being as insufferable as they're going to be, won't be completely. Well, they're still going to be completely insufferable. There's no two ways about it. But I was thinking to myself, man, if he gets another shutout, the hot takes, like I got some hot takes, but like the hot takes you're going to read tomorrow, oh God, they're going to be steamy hot. They're like beyond hot takes, just stupid stuff, right?
I feel like that should be a new segment on our show. Hey, is like
that?
let's try to find the like most outlandish, in our opinion, outlandish tweets or like comments, and read them to get, you know what I mean, your reactions.
Like Leafs fans, this is why you're stupid.
Yeah, you know what I mean, and kind of just like make fun of ourselves because we are total crazy people, and myself included. I had to like refrain from, because I used to be one of those people that, and I still kind of do it, but I used to like tweet everything as I was feeling it, like, oh, he missed the net, and I tweet it, you know what I mean? So I try not to do that because after the fact, you kind of look stupid sometimes. And
no, I like that
I think
idea.
that'd be fun. I know. I think
here we are. We're
fun.
brainstorming live. I like it because we do have a new segment to announce. We do have a new segment. Kylie came up with this one. We're gradually filling up our show with a few little fun segments along the way, and Kylie came up with this, and it's a throwback, I guess, to our culture and heritage in a way. For any of you guys who don't already know, if you couldn't tell, we're based out of Newfoundland, out on the Rockway, out on the east coast of Canada. So we got a certain way of talking, a certain dialect, a certain accent, and a dictionary all of our own. The dictionary of Newfoundland got a whole litany of words and phrases in there that you'll never hear anywhere else. And probably the most recognizable phrase from Newfoundland is "yes bye."
Yes bye. No, it's not.
See,
See, that's how you would say it.
So, and everyone says it a little different. So yes bye can mean a lot of things. We'll go through a definition. Actually, if you look down right there, I got a definition running right now, as you can see. The yes bye can mean a lot of different things, but we'll explain that at another time. Our new segment is going to be called Yes Bye No Bye. And yes bye no bye is basically I'll throw more or less a hot take, something that's bold and a statement that may or may not happen, or something or a way that fans may or may not view a certain player. And I'll poll the other hosts for answers, yes bye or no bye, and then we'll chat. So hang in there for that one. That's going to be a fun segment a little bit later in the show. But for now, we're going to talk about the game.
Fun.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good.
Be a good way to spark a little bit of, you know, arguments or something between us.
Oh, that's inevitable.
Well, that's inevitable anyway, like with or without the new game. But I just feel like I can use the game to,
Yeah, I hear you. Now let's get back to the actual game, the game that we just watched. So I'm going to start by saying I was about as uncomfortable a fan as I've been in years going into a game that, and from an impact perspective, shouldn't made me feel the way that it did. I mean, every game is important at this point. I get it, blah, blah, blah. It's a cliche. But I felt uncomfortable because the news around the team is just making me uncomfortable. The way the fans are talking about the team makes me uncomfortable. The way the team is playing makes me uncomfortable. So I was uncomfortable. But early on, they looked like they had some decent jump. I'm not gonna like it wasn't. I was hoping they were going to come out like they were shot out of a cannon, but they didn't. And I was like, oh, this is kind of how they started all the other games, playing well. Because the games that they've lost, they haven't gotten destroyed.
No,
and
they've been the better team.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought the night when they lost to Calgary last night, I said they were a better team in Calgary, but they lost the game.
Yep.
So I was a bit uncomfortable.
It wasn't all Freddie.
No, and that's a. I'll let you go
on Freddie, but it wasn't all Freddie.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, there's give and take with any goaltending situation. The pundits will say, well, you know, the shots were tipped, but the anti-Freddie guys are going to say, yeah, but his job is to get hit by the puck, and he just wasn't getting hit by the puck. His body was sprawling. He was down when he should have been up. He wasn't in position. He was out of the net. There's a whole bunch of things that. So while I'm not cutting Fred slack and saying no, you know, it's not all Freddie's fault, I'm also not saying it wasn't partially his fault as well. I think there's blame to go all the way around, right?
It wasn't distributed fairly
in the media and in the fan base because of recent biases.
That's wrong, man.
Yeah, I will agree with you 100% on that. It's
I
not
agree
being
he needs
distributed.
better, but is it all him? Do I need to run him out of town, or is he just having a bad stretch? Right, it's
Freddie though.
Stop being so faithful.
History says it's just a bad stretch.
But hey, Jack Campbell, another shutout. This guy has played 4 games since the beginning of the year.
Has he won all 4?
And he looks great. Yeah.
See, like
2 shutouts.
Like
Vezina. Mini Vezina.
Yeah, like
know.
for
like
can they do half of Vezina?
I really don't want to get overexcited. I really don't, because I do all the time. Certainly with goaltenders, it's such a fickle position, right? Like a Hutch gets a shutout and then gets scored twice in 7 seconds. Now that's Hutch. Yeah. Campbell is heads and tails and has been since the day he got to Toronto, a better goaltender.
He looked calm. He looked great.
10 times better.
And I think the boys just absolutely love him. I think he's just so loved there. I think he's just slid right in. He's part of the team now. He's going nowhere. You know,
he's like a big puppy dog. I feel like that. I think I might have said that before. He's always so happy, and he's the first person to always, you know, tap the boys with his stick. I don't know.
Every save he makes, he's tapped somebody else.
He does though. Have you noticed that?
Yeah,
I love it. And like he just, I don't know. He seems like he's their own little cheerleader. And when he's not
character guy, right?
Well, yes.
Even
oh my God. Like just a genuine nice dude.
The Dawson
right?
Mercer kind of guy, right?
Yeah.
Well, even when he does no wrong. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Kylie.
No, I just want to throw out his personal shutout streak now reaches 133 minutes, 27 seconds.
Yeah.
3 weeks apart now, but 133 minutes. Not bad.
Yeah. So what, 4 days off now? Do the Leafs play him?
That's the question. Like, do we ride Campbell?
There's no way you don't. There's no way you don't, right? Because the man has pitched back-to-back shutouts. The only reason he didn't start this game after his last shutout was because he was hurt. So you don't.
I want to see it, but 4 days.
No, he gets to start. He earned it.
I believe he should. Does Keefe play him, or does he want to give his starter the start?
No, I think it goes to the guy who pitched the shutout, because maybe he pitches another one. I just can't see, like, if you were ever looking for a reason to give him the next start, if you're Sheldon Keefe and saying, God, I want to give him the start, but I don't want to start a firestorm here and a goalie controversy. You give him the start because your answer in the media is, well, he got a shutout last time. He gets to start.
He's our man.
Right?
Oh, I thought you were talking about Freddie.
No, I'm talking about Campbell. Campbell gets to start because he pitched the shutout, right?
Yeah, no, but I want to say, though, I mean, Freddie has come out and said himself that he's injured or that he has some kind of nagging whatever it may be. Yeah, something, whatever that may be. So, I mean, give the man a break. If Campbell is 100%, which I hope he is, I hope they wouldn't put him in net if he was at 95%. But I mean, with another 4 days now, that gives Campbell more rest. That gives, I think we should ride Campbell. At least we have a game against Ottawa, I believe, and then I think the Oilers, if I'm not mistaken, right after that.
There's no reason not to start Campbell. You cannot pitch me a reason that would sway me to say, yeah, you're probably right. Anderson should get to start. Anderson shouldn't get to start. He's hurt. He needs a break. I'm all about the argument too that he plays better when he's playing. But if he's playing hurt, that's a different set of rules. So let him get healthy and then let him play bad healthy and then let him get good. But don't worst case scenario, he injures himself worse playing, and then you only got one goalie. So I can't. That's my point. Yeah, exactly. So I can't think of one good reason not to start him in the next one. Certainly after the shutout. So I think it's a foregone conclusion. But listen, Sheldon Keefe, whatever.
Right. But just in comparison, and I mean, I'm going to be that Leafs fan now, and I'm going to compare the two of them. Okay. And I know we don't have enough, what's the word? I guess information to make a good comparison because Campbell's played 4 or 5 games.
Sample size is what you're saying.
Yeah. Sample size. That's the word I was looking for. Thanks, Ryan. But, actually, I literally just messaged. I just said, I was like, can you like bring me over a drink? I like motioned to Adam. But
you should get a bell.
Yeah. Please. The good thing is my MacBook, I can text. So I just like shot him a message like, hey, pass me a drink, please. I didn't want to be rude, but and he's coming right now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you, dear. But
and small too, right?
And he didn't even.
Yeah. You got good service there, I got to say.
I know.
You got good
he
service.
knows me too well. But getting back to what I was saying, just like I said, small sample size. But I mean, looking at I know they're 2 completely different goalies, but look at just. I know I have to bring up that save that he just made, like 10 minutes ago. Like that, if Freddie was in net, I'm sorry, that would have been a goal. That would have been a goal.
He would have went butterfly and tried to stretch across, and that would have went between the glove and the pad. Yeah,
every damn time, and it's just like that's the effort I'm looking for. It's not that hard, and Campbell just brings it, and it's. I don't know. Yeah. It's just I have this feeling he might be. No, I'm not saying he's going to take Freddie's spot, but whether or not we can re-sign Freddie has to do with how Campbell performs. And if he does well, they're probably just going to let Freddie go.
Do you remember? I think it was probably episode 5. I brought up the topic of what I thought the plan for the two of them was, that they were really going to give Campbell a fair shake. They should give him more starts than typical, which would then in turn give Fred more rest so that they could actually see what they got. So I'm still sticking to that. I still think that if he comes in healthy, if whatever was nagging him from them, those injuries he's had, that's the only scary thing with Campbell. He's played 4 games, got injured twice.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah,
like his save percentage is impressive, but his injury percentage is at 50%.
Yeah, so, it's just like his second injury though. We can't blame his second injury. I wouldn't call a second injury. It still stems from the first one. We hope. But I believe it was from the first one, just not fully. And that's what I'm afraid of right now. It's like, oh God, he played tonight. Just like, please be okay. And with this 4 days rest, almost 5 days, because they have 4 full days off and then they play on the 5th day. Hopefully that'll just get them right back to, 100.
Well, this is the break they needed, and this is the one they're going to get. So hopefully they make the most of it.
So, Chad, I took the time today because I didn't have anything else to do, and I read down through. I'm
going to rant.
It wasn't a rant.
Oh, your rant? Yes.
Oh, okay,
please.
She'll call it a rant.
Yeah, rant. It was definitely a rant.
Cole's notes. Right. Just Cole's notes. What your argument was on the Freddie things. I take your opinion on the whole Freddie situation very interestingly, because I find it's not a hot take at all. You're pretty dialed in with it. Let's explain to me, as if I didn't know anything about the situation, why people shouldn't be so excited about Freddie Anderson.
You're kind of at the mercy of your star goalie, and it's kind of like your quarterback. If your star quarterback is not going to play good this year, if he's going to have a hard year, if he's playing injured, you're kind of at the mercy of it. You're getting paid to play it, and that's what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. You have to put your faith in the guy. You listen to the guy. If he says he's good to go, he wants to start, you got to listen to him. It sucks. It does suck. But it is what it is. If he has a hard year, it's just the most ill-timed thing ever, because if we got a Freddie 2 years ago, 3 years ago, now it'd be Tampa looking, you know?
I agree.
But when we have an unproven Jack Campbell, here he is, another shutout, proving me wrong, which is great because I'm not really saying nothing bad about him, but everyone wants Jack Campbell. I'm like, you've seen the 3 games, he got hurt twice. That's what you want? And then you got Michael Hutchinson. He's got a handful of games. He didn't play great in all of them. He had one kind of bad game, one where he had 2 shots and he's out, .333 save percentage. You still want that over Freddie. And every time you put Freddie in net, he's still capable of winning games. It's just he had a little bad stretch there. And it didn't look very good, a little strong. He's dealing with something. He addressed it. He's a pro. I think he can still bounce back. I think just time. People say he can't be fixed mid-season. I'm like, how do slumps start and stop then? I mean, what do you mean you can't fix anything? I don't know. Look, I just think people should cut him some slack. It's going to be, he's done a lot of good, and this is his contract year. You might have to deal with it much longer, and you're going to find out how bad it really is if we don't have anybody else.
Okay, well, let me ask you guys this, and this
$5 million, Freddie.
This is for either one of you guys. So here's my take.
Freddie.
My take. Yeah. Here's my take on Fred. He's not an elite level goaltender. I don't believe his career numbers are not elite level. He's played very well for the franchise, and he's an undisputed #1 goalie. But I don't believe he's an elite. I don't think he's top 10 in the league.
Nope.
I think he's close. Not paid like one. No, and he's not paid like one. But I think a lot of people are expecting him to be. So
of course.
At his where he sits, kind of middle of the pack in a normal year. This year he's not in the middle of the pack. In a lot of categories, he's way down the list. But normally, based on his career, he's been better than average. He's average to better than average goaltender. Right?
He's played some elite games, that's for sure.
Yeah, and he has.
Seasons.
Yeah, and he's just, they've been too far in the past for my liking. Yeah, I think that's what everybody's issue is.
And that's exactly what I was getting to, Kylie. I think
the
problem. No, that's fine because it proves the point. Our memories are really, really short. Really short. Like most Leafs fans' memories now are about 4 to 6 games long, right? A lot of Leafs, you're gonna find tomorrow, a lot of Leafs fans' memories are about 12 hours old. They will have anointed a new king.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right? He's already. I just scroll through Twitter, and it's just. I just noticed Freddie is trending. Campbell is trending.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do want to say this. I just seen a really neat stat. In his 4 starts, he's allowed 4 goals. I mean,
is that it?
Yeah.
2 of those were shutouts.
4 goals and 4 wow.
How can you really say, like, as crazy as some of the hot takes are, like, I mean, how can you really say Freddie's a better choice right now? Like, just ride him while he's hot. No, that doesn't mean.
I agree with that. I think Freddie should take a seat for a while.
Yeah, like that doesn't mean that Freddie's not our starter or anything like that. But for now, while ever you rest up, you heal that nagging injury, ride Campbell. If he's well enough and he says, "Put me in, coach," put the man in.
Yeah, no, I agree. You ride a hot goaltender. That's like
you got to.
That's the first rule in
especially
hockey.
in right now. Like
I mean, we need it. We need it.
If you got it, you do it.
Yeah,
we bought these 6 games.
Well, Jack Campbell is not an elite level goaltender. He's not. He's
never got the chance to prove himself, though.
That's also true. But
I think he has.
Not really.
He's never made the most of it.
Check his stats.
I have.
He's never. I know, but like he's just never had a lot of opportunity because there's always Jonathan Quick. You know, like no doubt Quick is probably a better goalie than Campbell. But if we're comparing Campbell to Anderson, we haven't really got the chance to make that fair assumption yet. That who's better for us.
Well, I'll tell you what comes to mind in our current situation, and it sprung to me today. I was sitting back. I was like, man, I've seen this play out before, but where? And I said, aha. Pittsburgh Penguins, Stanley Cup, Marc-Andre Fleury, Matt Murray.
And Murray.
Right? Matt Murray wasn't a proven #1 either. He wasn't nowhere near it. Just he had no choice but to step up because Fleury, who is still one of my favorite goaltenders and will be when he retires, I'll look back and say my favorite goaltenders of all time were Martin Brodeur, Marc-Andre Fleury, and hopefully Jack Campbell. but you know what I mean? Like, he's going to forever be one of my favorites, but he just had a piss poor year and an arguably similar year the following. But, you know, he played a decent regular season that year. And then when the playoffs come, he just lost it. And they had no choice but to put Murray in. And then Murray just stole the show.
Stole the show. Yep.
And then he stole the job the next year.
Literally. Yeah.
Literally. And then he moved on to another team and he was anointed a number one goalie. So
he's still an excellent goalie.
There comes a point in a goaltender's life where you move from backup to number one. Some goalies never do. Michael Hutchinson never
Michael Hutch, no.
Goalie, right? There's a lot of goalies in the league who'll never be number ones.
But I mean, Freddie was a backup before he came to Toronto.
He was. He had a lot more games under his belt than most backups because he kind of had a split job. It was
but that's why don't we maybe potentially I don't know, like if Kyle Dubas at the end of this season, sorry, I know you were going off on something there a second ago, Ryan. I interrupted you.
Fine.
But
I'm used to rude when cut me off.
But if Dubas, at the end of the season, because like bad enough, really though, but bad enough, like this is a contract year for Freddie. I think the biggest thing wrong with Freddie Anderson is between his 2 ears. I've been saying it for the longest time, and he wants to say he got an injury, and maybe he do. I don't know, but I really do think that he's the type of person who gets in his head, and it's contract year. I mean, he knows he knows the talk. He knows people are saying Campbell versus Freddie, and you know who's going to steal the job and whatever. But does Dubas look at him after this? Say he continues on this shitty slump he's in, and in the end of the season, does Dubas look at him and say, okay, we split the job between you and Campbell 50-50 or 60-40?
3 years at $3 million. That's what he gets.
Sign a bridge. Yep, is exactly where I was going to. Sign a bridge for 2-3 years, couple $1 million less than what he's making now. Why not?
You don't think Colorado
the numbers stay? Now he might be able to get more elsewhere, of course. Everybody could use a goalie, especially Freddie. He's a great goalie. But does he want to leave? Who knows?
Well,
maybe he does.
At some point, there's got to be a hard decision made.
Yeah.
One way or the other. Now, is Frederick Anderson at the end of this year going to make $6 million on the Toronto Maple Leafs?
No.
Bye.
Well,
no bye. So
definitely not.
You know, and that's based on what? Again, that's a recent bias. You know, if he comes on strong now and we go a couple rounds deep, or God forbid we happen to win the Stanley Cup, I don't care who he pays. I'm not going to watch the team anymore anyway. I'm going to cut this podcast. Will no longer exist. I'm going to stop watching hockey. That's it. I'm done. There is no for me, folks.
Yep.
But yeah, there's going to be a hard decision made, and Freddie and Jack are going to be at the center of it. It's going to be interesting. I cannot wait to see what happens.
I know. I'm very anxious about it, honestly.
Yeah, like a lot of people.
I'm more anxious for the playoffs.
Yeah, that's
what everyone's waiting for now.
It's going to hinge everything, and obviously, you know, we had this conversation. Like, if I had to choose between Zach Hyman or Freddie, I mean, that's going to change the conversation a bit now. Obviously, from the last time I said it's got to be Freddie, because if you got that goalie right now, you got to keep him. I still feel like that, but Zach Hyman's play just keeps elevating.
Yeah. And
he's a beast.
It's crazy.
There's a Zach Hyman take coming in. Yes, by Nova. I got one there for you. You guys will have to decide.
Already a yes by.
Whatever it is, yes, 100% yes.
I'll go grab a beer when you have that question.
Because the answer
is out for yes by.
Okay. Well, I don't think we need to beat that game to death. There were 2 goals scored. No. I do want to throw out to my main man. I've been his cheerleader all season long.
I know.
He opened the scoring. He started it off for us.
Vintage.
Beauty.
No angle. Top cheddar. Upper mountain cookies.
He picked it. No. Did you guys notice though? There was like a shift or so just before that, like his shift or 2 before that. He almost had that. He was in that exact same spot, like just about to try to pick it up, but there was too many people in the lane. Like he couldn't get to the net and just kind of flicked it up and whatever. And the play was called. And then his next shift, he comes in on like the exact same wing and just picked top corner. Like it was almost like
sounds like Zach Hyman tried to wrap around. Never worked.
Yeah, he tried it and then he's like, screw it, I'm trying it again, and then did it. It was just like, didn't he just try that? Like that's kind of how it felt. It was sick. Yeah, I love that.
I got one takeaway from the game that caught my eye. With all the recent trade talk, and everyone putting Kerfoot at the center of most trades because of the money situation, money in, money out. Kerfoot, more or less, has been moved to the bottom line, the fourth line, more or less. I don't care what you call it. Your third line, he wasn't really playing a lot there. He was playing a lot with Spezza and sometimes Thornton. And while that's a very effective line, it kind of looks to me like he's been kind of taken out of the equation. Now, maybe that's just me reading too much into Sheldon Keefe's line combinations, but I'm like...
He changes a lot.
He does. He changes the lines a lot. But I'm like, is this kind of Kerfoot's slow exit here? While they're trying to create chemistry on a new third line?
Or is it Simmons being back?
Could be.
And like getting a bit more time because, I mean, he was playing great out there. He was pulling some moves.
But you guys got to agree, too, that when Kerfoot was on the third line with Mikheyev and Hyman, they were lights out.
There was that's my favorite line.
He had a couple of nice goals, too.
There was no reason to take him off that line, is what I'm saying.
But
so
at $3.5 million, at $3.5 million, that is way too much for a fourth line center. I'm sorry.
For a fourth line,
or even a third line center.
Casually, it's definitely too much at 4.5.
Exactly. So I don't know. I mean, I love Kerf. I do like him. I really do. He's kind of like, in my opinion, in a way, like a Zach Hyman. He's always just like giving her, you know what I mean?
You can see his effort every single shift.
Always.
Definitely.
And he's just constantly, you know, there's never a time when he's not trying. And that's what I love about him is the effort.
Banged around quite a bit.
Yeah. Oh man, he can take a beating too.
Yeah, he's feisty. He reminds me a lot of watching. Remember when we had Brendan Leipzig with the team? He only played a handful of games, but same kind of player, just all over the puck, just in the dirty areas, just go wherever he had to.
Just like first one in the corner, no fear.
It was just an observation on my end that kind of got, you know, because obviously I was a GM in a past life, so got my old GM wheels. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I absolutely could run a hockey team, like the rest of you guys are listening to the podcast. So I got my GM wheels turning. I'm like, why is Kerfoot getting a little bit of like basically limited ice time? You know? So I'm just throwing it out there. That is something I observed, and it was kind of an odd thing, right? One more thing from the game I think we should discuss. We've had 2 games now with number 12, Alex Galchenyuk. I want to get your guys' takes. What do you think?
First career point with the Leafs tonight. Assist. That was nice.
On the Hyman goal, is it?
Yeah, on the Hyman goal, yeah.
I like the little drop passes he's making to Willie and getting a little creative. His passes are crisp. He handles the puck well.
Yep.
You know?
He seems to be
he's not looking out of place.
No, I was just gonna say he seems to be fitting fitting right in. Like he doesn't stand out to me. So I feel like that's a good thing. You know what I mean? I have to kind of look for him. Oh, there he is. Like he's not standing out, making mistakes or doing anything, but he's not standing out in a good way too much either. He has made some good plays, but it's also only been 2 games. But it's only been 2 games.
I'm cutting him a ton of slack on that end because he got to get a chance to develop chemistry before he can start.
100%.
He's not gonna, you know, if he would have came out and had a hat trick in his first game, we would have anointed Dubas GM of the year.
Oh my goodness.
Moved on, but that never happened because that's not what happens normally unless you're Austin Matthews. So
he showed a bit of speed. That's the one thing I've noticed. He has a bit of speed. He can keep up. I haven't seen no big shot yet. I know that's what I want to see. The one thing that stands out to me when I look at him physically, just from a physical stature, like when they show him between whistles, kind of like coasting around, holding the stick, you know, he just looks like a player. He's large. He's a tall guy. He looks rather built. He's athletic, basically, is what I'm saying. Athletic. He's obviously skilled. The way he handles himself, he just looks like a player to me. And that shouldn't come as a surprise to anybody because he was drafted 3rd overall in the draft. He looks like he's in the right place.
Yeah, he looks like he belongs there, and I think he wants to stay there. So. I'm interested to see the post-game presser just because they're going to ask Keefe again about Galchenyuk. They're going to until he either gets taken off the line or wins on a cup. I don't know, but no, so far I like what I've seen.
Yeah, same.
I got no problem. That line has looked far worse many times before without him on it. So
and we're not looking for like another Nylander.
I have an update, guys.
What's up?
Sheldon Keefe says Frederik Andersen wasn't available to back up tonight. He's been dealing with a lower body injury.
Well, and he always takes the night off from the rink, so he got an extended vacation.
You can spin the wheel of excuses again, or just accept the fact that the man is dealing with something and ride Campbell. And Hutch can back him up.
Yes. Guess what?
Then Freddie goes back cold.
When you play sports hurt, you don't play as well as you do when you're not hurt.
But
oh my goodness.
It's not a complicated.
It's just, no. And I mean, if someone needs that explained to them, then like, I can't help you. You know what I mean? Everybody should know that. And whether or not they want to say it's an excuse, who are you to none of us know.
Stop being so fatal like he's been cracked for 2 years straight here. He showed some weakness.
Pick another scapegoat. scapegoat.
And I mean, what goalie hasn't?
We have 2 goalies technically on our team.
Pick somebody else.
Actually,
be a real fan and don't pick anybody. Right?
Yeah. Blame the refs.
Don't be a little baby. Don't be such a Habs fan. Just cheer for your team.
Yeah,
be happy when they win. Be sad when they lose, and don't blame people.
Well, the Habs won tonight in the shootout I just watched, and I was going through Facebook after the win, and I could see someone posted up. It said 4 more years of the price. I'm like, guys, like,
if I had the cap space, I'd take the price tomorrow.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah. There's no team in the league who wouldn't. So for Habs fans to be throwing their goalie under the bus is foolish.
Well, you know what? That's happening here. It's
happening here on a smaller scale.
Yeah. But they have more of a right to complain about when their goalie's underperforming. But I mean, it's Carey freaking Price.
He's showed enough. He's
paid a lot of money, but he's still Carey Price. And I'm the first one to always like talk about him and be like, oh, he's not what he used to be. And no doubt he's not. Yeah. I mean, you tell me you're the same now as you were 5, 6, 7 years ago. None of us were.
But
you know what I
mean?
mean?
An 8-year contract, and someone says you have to play at that elite level.
That whole time. No, that's not a thing. No players are. None of them.
Unrealistic expectations. Maybe that's what the fans are all about.
Besides Alex Ovechkin and like Wayne Gretzky, there's only like super duper like people out there that can play their entire.
We're talking about goaltenders. What goaltenders stayed?
Yeah, exactly. Not even skaters, goaltenders. Like that's not a thing. I don't know.
It's an individual part of the game.
Yeah.
Nobody can really take that.
I've got an update for you as well.
Oh, what's that?
Leafs have acquired. Ready for this?
Are you serious? Are you joking right now?
The Leafs have acquired a veteran player of 1,000 NHL games, almost 1,000 NHL points.
Are you kidding me right now?
He's a career top 6 forward. Do you know who I'm talking about? 2 years ago, it was Jason Spezza. They signed him for
Spezza.
I'm gonna kill you.
I was about to say that. Yeah.
I'm just like, what? What's going on? I'm like checking my phone. How come not even?
She was gonna spit her coffee out. No, but like I said, that's always been my take on the Spezza thing. I mean, I like showing everything. Whatever topic we bring up, I'm gonna throw it back to Spezza. I
love Spezza.
How can you not? How can you not love a guy who plays less than 10 minutes a game and constantly puts points on the board? And even when he don't, his line is effective. Our best player in the playoffs last year, Spezza.
Yeah. It was. I've been wanting since we got Jumbo to try to tune them together. So when I seen the lineup tonight, I was pumped. Me and Adam were pumped, and I got to say, I think they did excellent together. I think it was good because 2 of the guys aren't the fastest in the league. Don't get me wrong, but then being out there with Kerfoot centering the line just kind of evens it out a bit. I don't know. I thought it was good.
You know what the funny thing about the whole speed argument is? A speed argument only matters if you're on a team that's run and gun. And our team's not run and gun. They haven't scored a run and gun goal in ever. I don't know. Like when was the last time you seen Willie Nylander sprung for a breakaway?
Cappy was probably the last person to do it.
Like, I mean, that's not the style they play anymore. They break teams down or try to. And a lot of people are off on the whole what's with the lack of scoring or what's with the inability to score. Why aren't they scoring 7 goals in a game? Why aren't they scoring 9 like the Rangers? That's not
defense.
That's not how they play. That's not their game. Their game is to dissect and wait for other teams to make mistakes and then capitalize on with their immense skill. The problem with that style of play is if you make mistakes yourself, you're at the mercy of having a low scoring game that you're not in control of, which is where we found ourselves in the recent days.
In the last couple, So, you know what kind of dawned on me last night was it last night, night before? I don't know. It's been a debate on Twitter as of lately. If you guys have seen the whole Barry's better than Brody thing. Have you guys seen that? This is my off topic, by the way, for
comparisons.
Okay, here we are. Segment 2, off topic with Kylie Murrin. What you got? I like it so far.
Yeah, so it's been a big like hot debate. Oilers fans are like, "Oh, how could Leafs fans hate Barry? He's I don't know what his stats are, but we'll just say 20. He got 20 points and such games, and Brody only got this and blah blah blah." And it's like, they're two completely different players. For one, Barry doesn't play defense, and like he just lines up as a defenseman and just plays forward. And Brody actually does what he came here to do. He plays defense. Since Brody has come in, and I guess the addition of Bogosian, and I know we got a new defense coach or whatever, but they are playing a completely different style hockey.
Yeah, it's a different system. And he has Darnell Nurse to play defense while he can gallivant around.
Right, exactly. We had him with Riley, which Riley is kind of Barry. Exactly. We don't need two Barrys or two Rileys. So you're telling me
Hainsey, he gets 70 points.
Right. So, and Hainsey was that stay-at-home defenseman.
That's
so my argument was, okay, you want to compare Barry to Brody? Compare Barry to Riley. And you can't tell me there's not one Oilers fan out there that would take that would take Tyson Barry over Morgan Riley. And if you would, you're an idiot.
Let's not compare Riley to Barry. Compare Riley to Nurse.
Yeah, okay, let's do that.
If you're going to compare equals, would you today sign a trade that sent Morgan Riley and TJ Brody to Edmonton for Tyson Barry and Darnell Nurse? Would you make that trade?
Holy crap, that's a tough trade, man. I don't.
No. I mean, I like Darnell Nurse.
I'm a homer,
but not as much as I like Tyson. There's too many. Their names are all T's. Worse than my grandma.
I like Darnell Nurse.
She like calls everybody except me. What'd you say?
I like Darnell Nurse, but
but not as much as I like. Not as much as I like Brody.
You can't, Chad. That's not the question.
No, but they're too.
Damn it.
Would you make the trade?
No.
Tyson Barry.
No, bye.
Exactly. No one makes that trade. Why? Because yes, Tyson Barry is leading NHL defenseman in points, but
we don't need him.
But he's only trailed by Morgan Riley by like 5 points.
I don't remember the year started. When the year started, the first like 5 games, everyone's like, "Man, Barry's shit."
Yeah. Give him a bit of time.
I know. I was watching him, and I'm in hockey pools. I saw how he was doing. He didn't start off great. And you know what? He found his groove. God love him. He did.
Yeah, he did. And
but right now,
the biggest.
Man, that's a tough call. You asked me for that trade, and I'm not going to be. I want to say no, just because of the personal sentiments, maybe.
Yeah.
But man, they're good together, and I like what Darnell Nurse brings.
Tyson Barry in Toronto or Tyson Barry now in Edmonton? That's two different players, right?
You get what you get currently.
Yeah.
Okay, let me specify. When you get Tyson Barry, you don't get Draisaitl and McDavid as well.
Right. That's the difference right there.
I'm going to tell you right now, Tyson Barry on the Leafs doesn't have as many points as Tyson Barry on the Edmonton Oilers.
We don't play that style of game, though.
That's no knock on Marner Matthews. I think that they're comparable players, but they're not Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid is at a different level hockey player than anybody else in the league.
He's a mutant.
Yeah, I'll argue that he is the best player on the planet. And there's going to be a lot of people who would maybe disagree. I don't know. And there's going to be a lot of people who would agree. But Tyson Barry would not be as good a player with the Leafs. And I think the Leafs are a better team. So
they're way better this year.
I think they're a better team without him.
Right. This is where I was going to get at. Okay, so they were all like happy. They're like, "Oh, we have Barry who's scoring this many points and blah, blah, blah." And it's like, yeah, but do you forget that your team also needs defense, right? Like, because they don't have that. So it really makes me feel like that was us last year. We don't need defense. We got McDavid and Draisaitl. We have Matthews and Marner and John Tavares. We'll just outscore our opponents. But we exactly know how that came back to backfire on us and bit us in the ass. And it's going to happen to the Oilers too. You can't play in the playoffs. And maybe I should take my own medicine because the Leafs will probably have a first round exit. But you can't play in the playoffs like that without a defensive, structure. And they lack that right now. You can't always depend on your players to outscore your opponent. It just doesn't always happen. And they're doing it right now.
Well, I mean, actually, no. I think the Leafs are 2 points ahead and 3 games in hand, or 2 games in hand.
we got 2 games in hand because they're playing tonight as well. They
2 points ahead now.
But we're 2 points ahead now. If they win tonight, then and the win Jets just scored actually when I said that. But yeah, you know what I mean though, when I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like they were us last year. That's the Barry curse.
I don't think that they're as good as we were last year, to be honest with you.
No,
I think their
not.
2 best players are better than any of our players.
And
I do believe that.
But that's
maybe
all they have.
Any, but McDavid has heads and tails ahead of everybody else.
There you go.
In the league.
Nuge or Nylander?
Nylander.
Really?
Really?
Ooh, I don't know. I think I take no. See, okay, I like Nylander's skill and the way but Nylander only plays half the year.
What are you talking about?
Like, no, okay, come on. There was a difference in Nylander tonight, even, and Nylander when he gets mad. 2 different players. He needs to get pissed off every game to play as good as he usually plays.
Are we talking about the same William Nylander who's moving up the NHL scoring board faster than anybody else?
I'm not complaining about him. I'm not complaining about him.
I'd like to virtually slap you. Can I
love the guy. Listen, I can't wait to show you guys the new shirt that I buy. You'll see how much I love that guy.
Changing topics. Off topic.
But because I can't off topic. But no, I'm not saying nothing bad about him. I'm just saying in comparison to Nugent Hopkins. That's what I'm saying.
Nugent is more complete, but he's older.
Yes.
Nylander is
2 different arguments for both.
I'm a homer, obviously,
well,
but I still think that Nylander. Nylander's a winger. Nuge is a center. That's the key component there. It's kind of like chalk and cheese. It's not quite as bad as comparing Tyson Barrie to TJ Brody, but it's 2 kind of different players. Not quite the same. Nuge on the wing, he gets a bit sketchier then. But I enjoy thoroughly, and I always have enjoyed Nylander's puck control and puck possession.
I love that about him.
It hardly ever generates into anything, but it always opens the ice up so much. Tavares, you can see Tavares just salivate and just give me the puck, right? And he usually ends up ripping it, and it doesn't always pan out. But I just love how he's able to take the game and hold it in his hand for 10 seconds and say, I got control of this. Now you guys follow me.
The patience that he has.
You won't ever see that from Nugent Hopkins. And that's the one thing about Willie that I really, really like. That is his swagger. I'm all about his swagger. Like
I know.
I wish I had half the confidence of William
Nylander. He just
Nylander.
Doesn't give a shit either. And that's that's what I love about him.
0 shits were given. All right, we're running hot here, boys.
Let's play the game. Let's play the game.
We're gonna skip our segment, hot takes, fast breaks, unless you guys want to jump in. But skip that
we have kind of already played it anyway.
We've been all over hot.
Let's play our new one. Let's do the new one.
Okay, so segment 3. Yes by, no by. For those of you who don't understand Newfoundlandese, that's yes by, no by, or
our quiz.
Sir, no sir.
Yeah, yes sir, no ma'am, yes ma'am, no whatever. Yeah,
whatever.
You get it.
You get it. So I'm going to throw out some statements, and I'm going to get you guys. You can respond at the same time if you like. That'd be fun. Or
if we disagree, we have to fight and argue and yell at each other.
Yeah, well, that too. Okay, so Spezza resigns for another year next year.
Yes,
bye.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes,
and hold on. Before we go any further, is this what I want or what I think is going to happen?
What do you think is going to happen?
Why do you think it's going to happen? Yes, bye.
Oh, yes, bye.
Yeah, because I know sometimes yes by can sometimes mean like no way, right? That's what Ryan was kind of getting at earlier. Yeah, because that's what Ryan was kind of getting at earlier. For anybody who don't know, is that like it can literally mean a million other things. A lot of people, you say, "Oh my God, I want a car and roll up the rim." I'd be like, "Yes, bye." Yeah, like because I wouldn't believe you. You know what I mean? Yes, bye. Like it's kind of like a sarcastic, but no, we're not using it that way. Just yes or no.
I have a feeling most Newfoundlanders are watching this.
What do you think? Yeah, I hope so. But what do you think, Ryan Spezza? What's your yes by, no by?
What I want and what I think is going to happen, maybe 2 different things. But I do believe he will resign. If he doesn't, it's because he wants to retire. I fully believe that Kyle Dubas will extend him for another year if he wants to play. Because why wouldn't you?
Yes, well, of course, yeah.
He retires, gets his statue on Legends Roll, and then he just goes on.
He might want to do 2.
He might. Can I counter this? It's kind of off the same question to you guys. Spezza signs, but Thornton doesn't.
Oh shit! That's
like
possible.
they pick Spezza, so to speak, over Thornton because like, do we really need two veterans?
No, I can't see that happening. If the money is there for both and both are willing to play.
Oh, of course. But if it came down to
choosing
one or the other, and I think would you think it'd be Spezza over? I know this is kind of not yes by no by now, but Spezza or Thornton?
No by
Spezza over Thornton.
Because it's definitely a no by for me because they don't utilize Spezza as a top 6 forward, so why would they choose him over a top 6 forward?
But he's almost more valuable sometimes because just his ability to win faceoffs and score.
I know what I was
price tag. His price tag on a top 6 forward.
Yeah, like
I personally appreciate Jason Spezza more than I do Joe Thornton. That's just because I've become a fan.
Me too.
Well, you see what he can do on a 4th line.
I'm probably gonna buy a Spezza jersey, and I only got 20 games left with the guy. So
right.
No, I'm all about Spezza, but I can't see them choosing him over Jumbo. That's just me.
I would think that they would try to keep both, just out of a loyalty kind of thing. Like, I mean, you see what Boston did this year to Chara. That still kills me, honestly. Like, I see him in a Washington jersey, and I'm just like, that's just wrong. You couldn't sign that man to a league minimum contract. Like, that's just, I'm sorry, that's just a dick move. And if it really came down to money that tight, then, well, that would be the only way I think Dubas would do it. Or because he had to. But then again, I don't know. I guess it all depends on what happens this year. We'll talk about it after the season and figure it out. What's the next one, Ryan?
Next one. So
throw it at me.
Let's say, theoretically, because of the poor play of recent, some of that tends to linger on and carry over, and we're not quite the team we were halfway through the year. However, we still make the playoffs in 2nd place. Okay? Here's the scenario. We're in 2nd place. The Oilers are in 1st, which means the Habs are likely in 4th, and the Jets are in 3rd. So our first round opponent is the Winnipeg Jets. The Toronto Maple Leafs make it out of the first round. Yes, by or no by?
Oh.
I don't know, because
it
depends on what team shows up. What team shows up, really? Okay, if you ask me this
at this
February,
current moment, it's such a hard question.
Yeah, if you asked me this in February, I would have been yes, bye. Like, we're winning the damn cup. But now it's just like,
and they've lit up Connor Hellebuyck too.
Yes, and I know they can beat Winnipeg.
So in your heart of hearts, all recent biases aside, all started the season 19 wins aside, can the Toronto Maple Leafs, as they're currently structured, beat the Winnipeg Jets as they're currently structured in a 7-game?
Can they? Hell yes, they can.
In 5.
Do you think they will?
In 5.
See, will is another one.
Now, do you think they will?
Yes, bye. I do.
About time. Get on that train.
Yep. Yes, bye.
Winnipeg gets the 3rd game.
Yes, bye.
But I love how much you guys struggled with that. That was the idea. That's probably the hardest matchup. I think they'd have an easier time with Edmonton than they would with.
Oh God, yes,
Winnipeg.
It's that damn goalie. They got a goalie. They got such a good goalie. The
North is full of good goalies. You look at the top 4 teams in the league.
Full of good scores.
Division. I mean, you're looking at Markstrom, who's backed up by Rittich. You're looking at Carey Price, who's backed up by Jake Allen. Right. You're looking at Connor Hellebuyck, who's as good as 2 goalies anyway. Who's
the only team right now is, I don't even know.
I don't even remember.
Some weird dude. Was that no? That was Sens last week. I have no idea.
Weird dude.
Anyway, my point is that we're going to run into a good goaltender no matter who we play. You know?
But the only team right now, probably in the Canadian division without a goalie or any goalies, is the Sens. They have like three goalies down now, or 2 goalies down now. No, I just mean out injury wise. Like, they have good goalies.
Not in general.
Yeah, it's just they have. Well, I think Murray is okay right now, but I think all their backups are out, or maybe
Nathan
they were.
Beaulieu. Is it not Nathan Beaulieu? Brassoi, the old Edmonton goalie. Brassoi.
Right.
Which he's not very strong.
Yeah, I would have lost all bets on that. I had no idea that was their goalie.
No, and I just remember I just watched the Edmonton score on him the other night.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. But we played against him earlier and lost, didn't we? If I'm not mistaken.
I don't know. It feels so long ago.
I think so.
So Ryan, what's your yes by no by to that?
Oh, I'm a hard yes by.
You're a hard yes. I thought so.
I've listened to a lot of Sportsnet commentary talking about how the top 6 forwards on the Jets are better than the top 6 forwards on the Leafs, and I say to that, no way.
No.
Sorry. I mean, I like the Jets top 6, and I think that they're comparable with just about anybody in the league. I love the grit. I love the work ethic. Do I think they have a better work ethic than Toronto's top 6? Oh fuck yes. It's not even close. Like Mark Scheifele, Blake Wheeler takes a team and just puts them on their back and goes, right?
Carl Connor I like him, man.
Nick Ehlers is just a pure sniper. He's your Nylander comparable, but he's playing at a higher level right now. I mean, they're loaded up, but I do not believe that they are better up front than the Leafs. They have better goaltending now, and everyone always says better goaltending will win you the series. I don't know about that in this situation. So
I feel like that's how we lost the Columbus series. I mean, we lost to
the defense. Who got the better defense?
Us.
Oh, it's not even close.
I know.
It's not even.
I mean, Tyler Myers and Bufflin Gunn are like, that's all
they have
news.
nothing left.
Watching Tavares dance through 4 Jets players the other night.
Yeah, like they don't have any defense, and they're almost one of those teams that we will just outscore you then because they just have all the firepower up front.
I thoroughly believe that's where you're going to see Ekholm from Nashville get traded. Oh. Everyone's been talking about Boston, and
they are definitely going to make a move.
I think that you're going to see Cheveldayoff make a move for a defenseman, and if you're going to make a move, that's your guy. It's going to be a big payment, but if this is their shot too. This is their year to get in. They haven't got that tough Western schedule that they would normally have run into. Their worst opponent is going to be the Leafs, which hasn't been a formidable opponent from yet this year. So this is your time. Spend the money, trade the draft picks, get some players, and go for it. And I hope I hope Dub's still the same.
No. Go ahead. I was going to say, just like our 3-game sweep on the Oilers. Okay. That was kind of what got all of us going. Got Dubas saying, yeah, we're all in. And then we shit the bed. I say we, but you know what I mean. Yep. And the Jets are kind of in that same predicament now. And I bet you that their GM is in the same boat. Oh, they just took the Leafs 3 games out of 4 or whatever. I can't even remember what it was. And so they're in the same situation. So they're going to make a trade. They're gonna have some kind of big splash. But I hope they have a slump very soon, like we just had. Because I feel like it's inevitable for every team. And they were slow getting going at the beginning of the year. But like, how long can Hellebuck be this good?
It's good like it last year.
Oh God, he's like a brick wall. That's what they have, though. They have great goaltending, and they do have good top 6. But it would be a great matchup. And I feel like no matter what happens, just the way the hockey gods work, that will be the matchup. And if it's not the first round, it will be the second round. So
yeah, you're not getting away from them regardless. So
if it's the first round, though, that's intriguing because technically the 2 best teams in the league could go against each other, and then it's a chance for someone like Montreal or Edmonton or even Vancouver or Calgary, whatever, to get ahead. You know what I mean? If we end up facing
I'll tell
Jets.
You, there are no gimmies in the North. There's no consensus.
They can say there is.
Those guys are making it to the conference final. I thought there was in the Leafs, but the Leafs are capable of blowing it to everybody else. So it's anyone's game in the North. And I think we can move on from that question. You guys beat that to death. I love it.
Yep.
This should be a good one. Season, Jack Campbells, the Toronto Maple Leafs #1 goaltender. Yes, by Nova.
Oh God, we pretty much already beat this one to death, though.
He is for now.
Interim.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with it, and I'm gonna say yes by.
You think so?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not gonna say that he could be our #1, but I feel like it could be an option to have like a tandem. whether
like
that's Freddie or that's somebody else.
Yeah, we have beat this topic to death, and I just wanted to get a kind of a closing take on it from you guys after we had talked about it so much, because there's been a lot of interesting ideas tossed around about that, because there's more to it than just this guy is better than this guy. There's the dollars.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Right. You're
talking. But like I said, if his numbers are continue to be what they are, which are like a 0.88 or something now, he doesn't really have much bargaining room. Like, what do you have in your pocket to like bargain with?
No, I'm saying he goes for Campbell. If Campbell,
what are you gonna say?
Games, and what's the least gonna say? No, but you're winning too many.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We're just gonna pick you because of all those first round exits. You won us. Thanks. Like, no.
Campbell goes 2 rounds deep into playoffs now, or 3, and then
it's bye-bye.
And then, well, not even that, 'cause he's still with the team next year anyway. He's signed for another year anyway.
No, I mean bye-bye to Freddie.
Oh yeah.
Or it's just like, I'm sorry, you want to stay here, you want to be a part of the squad, then it's just like $3 million on a bridge. And
just like Alex Galchenyuk, the door is open now for Mr. Campbell. What he does with that is up to him. If he wants to become an NHL starter, his opportunity is sitting in front of him. Now, is he going to take it? Looks like he's going to try. He's going to give it a college try. So, and I'm here for it. Same. You know, put your best foot forward, and the best goalie wins, and I'm happy. You know, everybody.
Whatever's the best for the team, honestly.
Yeah,
so.
and if he plays as good or better, or not even just as good as Freddie, and he's cheaper, then he's the guy.
So he's having a McElhinney kind of year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he a McElhinney?
I don't know,
because McElhinney was never looked at as a starter.
I don't think McElhinney could even be compared to Jack Campbell, to be honest with you. Like,
no, I mean, Jack...
he played really well though. He played excellent.
He did play really well. Yeah, I will.
And everyone was upset when he got let go.
But I think they are more or less upset that he was let go because he was just let go on waivers. Was he not? Like, it was just he was claiming, you could have at least traded the guy.
But I think the reason why it's different with Jack is because Jack's younger, right? Like, Jack is a blossoming goaltender right now.
And he was also like pegged as a kid to be a superstar goalie. It's just unfortunate he was drafted by LA, and they already had Jonathan Quick, who was like he got traded then, but being as a young kid and entering the league, I mean, being with LA, like Quick was already a couple of years maybe older than him. Already had a year or so probably under his belt. I looked it up when we first got Campbell, but I forget that
he is a fantastic goalie. He has been
100%.
Right?
So it's like. It's like you coming into the league as a young goalie and you're on a team with Carey Price. Like, you're never really going to get that opportunity. And as long as you stay in Montreal and Carey Price is there, you're his backup. So unless someone is lucky enough to get traded, like what happened to Freddie, because if Freddie stayed in Anaheim, he probably would have still been a backup, I would imagine.
No, that's one thing with California.
No, probably not.
They turn over their goalies a lot.
They do, yeah. If it was in Anaheim, wherever, but you know what I'm saying. It's just like he has the potential. He's shown it. He just hasn't shown it in a long time. But he hasn't been given the opportunity to. So I'm excited to see it.
This might be the best part of his career. This might be his prime.
Yeah. Goalies take longer to mature too. We all know that. So
maybe he's playing the best hockey of his life, and that's just it.
Wait and see. I'm excited. Yes, I'm anxious to find out what's going to happen.
Alex,
that was a long answer.
Alex, that was an episode long. Alex Kerfoot gets traded before the trade deadline. Yes, by no by.
Yes, by.
Depending on Galchenyuk.
Very true. He's just too expensive. He does produce.
I'll go with a no buy.
No what?
Just because trade deadline comes up, I expect so much all the time, and I'm just going to take it easy this year because I'm not sure how bad Lewis is going to go, how hard he's going to go if Galchenyuk works out and Simmons is back.
Then
who do you want to replace right now?
But
who's that
I feel like
replace?
If he's going to well, I mean, he's going to have to move somebody anyway because there's just no cap space. But
it's money pocket this time, right?
Like, that's it. Somebody has to go, or somebody has to go onto the taxi squad and then get lost on waivers or something. But I mean, a player like Kerfoot at $3.5 million probably wouldn't get picked up on waivers. So I don't know how that works in like a cap world. Could they like sit Kerfoot and sign somebody? I don't know.
But with a
like,
contract,
why would you do that?
The way that the collective bargaining agreement is structured, with players that are making more than $1 million,
right?
You don't get full cap relief.
No,
he can still get assigned to the minors, but you still get hit with a portion of his salary cap. It's not a full dump.
So it's still not. No, I would assume there would have been some kind of like.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the kicker.
Yeah.
It's just he's too good of a
player.
So
he has to leave. Yeah, someone has to go. And our only option is that actually gives us a bit of space. Like there's no good to say, oh, let's trade Engvall. What's Engvall make? 875 or something? Oh, does he? Oh, I thought
he's making a
get the 2-year bridge. Buck and a quarter. Yeah, so it was 2.5 total.
I was thinking he was still on an entry. No,
they gave him the pre-COVID contract.
Okay, so there we go.
Post-COVID, he makes half of that.
Him or Kerfoot or Mikheyev, and I feel like out of those three, Mikheyev should be one to stay. He has, I think, the most potential out of the three.
Mikheyev brings more to the team. Mikheyev is a killer.
I love him. I feel like he just needs to. Someone needs to give him. Yeah, I feel like Mikheyev just needs some stick handling practice.
I don't envision Mikheyev. I don't envision Mikheyev as a long-term leaf. I don't. I think this is a flash in the pan for him. He's going most likely back to the KHL or to another team. I just don't see where he fits on the team in this world. I mean, his numbers are not dazzling like I thought they were going to be, because before he got the wrist injury, I thought he was going to be a bit of a stud, like second line stud. That fizzled after the injury. He's still playing effective hockey. I'm not saying he's not an NHL player, far from it, but I just don't see his fit on this team going forward unless he's very, very cheap. So, and if he's very, very cheap, he's going to go back home where he won't be cheap. In the KHL, he makes a couple, $3 million at least.
Really?
Oh, 100%. So I just don't envision him as a long-term leaf. But anyway, that's neither here nor there for this year. We've got a couple more here, guys. We've got Yes by No by Kyle Dubas, GM of the year.
It all depends.
And trade deadline.
You guys can't say it all depends for every question.
Okay.
What the hell? This game show was not called It All Depends.
Currently, I give him a yes by. I put him in front runner for right now. Yes.
I'm at yes by too.
Segment 4. It all depends.
Yeah,
it's going to come down between him and
Bergevin.
Is it going to come down to him and Bergevin?
And put him and or the guy in Chicago. No, that's the coach, not GM. Never mind. I was thinking Jack Adams.
Yeah, it's getting late now. Wake up.
Yeah, I'm tired. I'm starting to feel it in my eyes.
We got a part A, part B here.
Okay.
Number 34, Austin Matthews wins the Hart Trophy. Yes by, no by.
No by.
Not the Hart. Not the Hart.
Okay.
No by.
We're going to say no by to that. I agree. We'll move on. Okay. 34 wins the Rocket Richard. Yes by, no by.
Yes by. He's going to get his groove back. He's going to pick up.
He should have had 2 in the last 2 games.
Literally, like I said to you guys, can somebody check to see if they like changed the dimensions of the net? Because
check the old show. I said, he was just elevating and he hasn't dropped off yet. And I said every year he does have a little bit of a drop off.
Yeah, and here it is.
It wasn't shown, and it did come. So
every year he comes on strong at the end too. Every year
he always
stretch, he just scores in buckets, right?
I'll give him
so it's coming.
I think it's a yes like for that one too.
Yeah, same. I feel like once the team starts picking up again, you'll see him get back on the score sheet. It's just feel like none of the superstars are really scoring right now. Like Mitch got one last night.
What's Pasternak doing?
But yeah, he was always someone that we had to be worried about, but I haven't heard about his name much this year.
He missed a good few at the beginning.
What's the next one, Ryan?
This is the last one and my favorite.
Okay.
This one is near and dear to my heart. And it's no knock on William Nylander. Okay, let's not make this into a Willie is no good. We're not going to do that anyway because none of us think that way. But
no.
Zach Hyman has made himself more valuable to the Toronto Maple Leafs than William Nylander. Yes, by. No way.
Yes, by. Yeah. Yes, by. I'm willing to say he's one of the he's like MVP of our team right now.
Will he get paid $7 million? I don't think so.
That's a scary topic. If
I don't even want to think about that.
Off the cuff here said, yes, Zach Hyman on the depth chart, Toronto Maple Leafs depth chart is ahead of William Nylander. That's a scary thought come cap time. I don't want to think about it because I'm enjoying him too much currently. But what a player. What an absolute steal. We traded Greg McKegg for him.
Yeah.
Kyle too should get GM of the year. He made that trade.
Just for that.
Right?
Is he only playing this good though because it's a contract year? Like
no,
if it wasn't a contract,
he's played this well since he was in Pee Wee.
100%. But this year,
he's been getting better every year.
Yes, this year is just like a whole other level.
No, you don't say he's been great every year because the first 2 years he was a whipping boy and everybody hated Babcock because he's on loan.
Because of it.
He was a total drag, sandbagging Matthew.
Yeah, at the time.
It just took him a bit of time to get up there.
Now I'm begging them to put him up there with them.
Oh, I remember all the hate then. Zach Hyman was garbage.
But the funny thing was, even back then when everyone was saying, why you got this plug playing with Matthews, even then he wasn't playing bad. He wasn't scoring goals. He had hands that were bricks, but I mean he was digging pucks at the corner like no one's business. There's a reason why Matthews had 40 goals. You know what I mean?
But he knew what he needed to work on, and he freaking did it. And now look at him.
I just love him.
Hard work pays off, and he's a workhorse, man. And we can see it on the ice. Imagine what he's like at the gym. So imagine what he's like at the gym or anything else he does.
My bonus, yes by no by. This is for all the marbles now. Yes by no by. Zach Hyman retires at Toronto Maple Leaf.
Yes by.
No by.
How dare you? We need a new guy in the bottom of the podcast.
I would literally trade John Tavares right now.
We'll trade Chad Newman for anybody who says yes by to Legends role, Zach Hyman.
Adam.
You bunch of yes men. Oh,
so you don't think he'll
stay?
Get 2
cameras, bitches.
You don't think he'll stay because they can't afford him, or because he doesn't want to stay? What's your thought process, Chad?
You're gonna have to repeat that. I was full.
I said. What's your thought process on it? Is it because they won't be able to afford to keep him, or because he'll want to go elsewhere for more money, or just want to go elsewhere for more something? What's your thought process to the Nova?
I'm going to say in the 5 years coming up, there's going to be some people to sign, and there's going to be some assets to get back. And I'd say he's probably going to fetch his son.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what this next contract holds for him, because
changing of the guard. It's going to have to be a changing of the guard in the next 5-6 years. You know, something's going to have to happen.
I feel like though he doesn't want to leave, so he's going to say, "All right, what can you give me?"
And if we win a cup,
that's fair. You know, they can't expect him to take less, but
if
they got to say
it's going to be a Chicago dismantle. You know,
it's got to be.
It could be, okay, but you know what? I'm okay with it. We just want one.
Price you got to pay.
I don't care if after they wins the cup, Kylie is playing the left wing with Murrin Matthews.
Literally.
I legitimately don't care who they got.
That could happen.
I don't care.
And Norma in net.
Yeah, Norma.
Yeah, we put Chad in net. Yes, we gotta get
man.
Norma. We're getting Norma on soon.
Norma Ryan.
You got to get on
love
here,
you, Norma.
Yeah, shout out Norma. Yeah.
So
our very own hype girl.
Yeah, I'm not going to drag this podcast on any longer because I got to go to work tomorrow.
So
have fun with that.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. So guys, if you enjoyed the podcast,
for me.
It's been all Leafs all the time. Well, there's a bit of Oilers talking there too. A little bit of controversy. I love that.
You're gonna get that from me anyway.
Yeah.
Off topic.
Yeah, got off topic quick there, and I love it. So yeah, if you enjoyed the new segment, yes by no by, or you'd like to throw something into the yes by no by, just drop me a message.
Do you give it a yes or do you give it a no by?
No.
Yeah, give us some ideas of what we can ask, because I literally brought this up to Ryan like an hour before we jumped on here. So
it's a lot
if anybody has if anybody has anything that we could use to spark, some debate or conversation,
go for it.
Let us know. But
if there's nothing else, guys, we hope you enjoyed the podcast. We've got some guests coming up. Our guest tonight couldn't make it because of power outages in Ontario, so we'll get Chris back another time. That's too bad. But no Wi-Fi means no internet, so there you go. I'm not going to get him on here for an hour on his data. But yeah, we got some more guests coming up besides Chris as well. We got Dr. Charles Tatter. We announced that last episode. He's coming in April. The very beginning of April, we'll be interviewing him, which is going to be I think a high point for this podcast. Something very interesting. He's an absolute legend of a Canadian, one of the greatest Canadians to ever work in the medical field anyway. And we're really
excited. He's a very smart man.
Very, very. So yeah, guys, if you like the podcast, make sure you hit the subscribe button. It's right there in the middle of your screen. That way. I don't know. Yeah.
This way.
No, the other way.
This way?
There you go. She's pointing at it.
It's different on my screen. I'm pointing towards the other way. Oh no, you told me towards the couch, so you're right. This way.
So yes, that button right there. Click that one. More importantly, give us a like there on Facebook, follow along, retweets, shares, all the things that you're supposed to do when you like something. Do that stuff. We're available on Facebook at facebook.com/DeekSnipeSilly. Available on Twitter. You can get us there, tweet us anytime. Follow us on Twitter at SillyDeek. We're on Spotify. We're on Stitcher. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Google Podcasts. You can search Deek Snipe Silly on YouTube and you'll get us there. So look forward to hearing from you guys. Yeah, we're everywhere. We're everywhere. So we're looking forward to hearing from you guys. And if there's nothing else, I guess peace out.
Cheers.
Thanks for listening. Bye.